Okay. So what I want to do is I want to briefly go over a strategy. The current broker that I'm going to be using is Pocket Options. I just used the strategy here recently, and I was able to clear 3 out of 4 in the money. This will be on the demo account, so I don't want to entice anyone. This is simply just to give a simple strategy to help you be more profitable in binary options. So let's start off with the indicators that I use. You will be using the parabolic dot or the parabolic star, SMA moving average of a period 8, and a moving average SMA period 21. The period 21 is this black moving average here. The SMA period 8 is this blue thick moving average here. And then the parabolic dots are these dots here that you see above and below the candles. So when you come to a pair, what you want to do is first thing first is the 21 period moving average, this black line, acts like a support and a resistance. So anytime that the candles are above or break below the moving average, then that's going to be a strong downtrend. And if they break above it, you can expect a pretty strong uptrend depending on the pair. So I like to pick a couple pairs with high payouts because this particular strategy it it doesn't apply to one particular pair. So I favorite the highest paying pairs, and I kind of go through and I look for a really strong signal. I like to ride it down or catch it breaking above, so we might get an opportunity here. I do like to use support and resistance just to kind of get an idea of where you are because these indicators they do help you, but they don't guarantee anything if you're not using just simple support and resistance. So we have our green parabolic dot. You can play around with the time frames. I like to go anywhere from 2 to 5 minutes, depending on when I take my first trade, if I am in the money or out the money. I also kind of like to wait and see. Like I have a support line here, and we see that it's attempting to break through. Now my candles are currently on 1 minute. You can actually go here and adjust that time frame, anywhere from 5 seconds all the way up to 1 day. And I'm just using Hakanashi candles. I have my enable timer on, enable scroll, and enable grid snap. So this is a 1 minute chart. Every candle represents 1 minute. And all I'm waiting for in this particular situation, since it's been such a downtrend, all I'm waiting for is I have the parabolic dots giving me the confirmation, but I'm simply waiting on one of these 1 minute candles to close above my 8 moving average. And again, like I showed you here, it's a SMA 8, which is my blue line. Now, my 8 moving average sticks really close to the candles, and I like to move an 8 moving average because you'll become immediately aware that the trend is shifting or changing because it literally rides. If you see these red candles, they roll below. Anytime the candles are below the 8 moving average, you're going to see predominantly sell. And anytime the candle breaks above, you're going to see buys. Now, it's very important to understand that the 8 and the 21, when you see them here and they cross up and then they cross down, it's very important to understand that when they're really close like this, when the 8 and the 21 are really tight, it's easy to determine, in what direction the market is going at that particular moment. If you see here, the 21 stayed behind the 8 and the candle stayed above the 8. So you were able to clearly see it's very clean. I mean, the parabolic dots are just an extra confirmation. Now the parabolic dots are pretty helpful when you have something like this particular situation where you're pretty much waiting on the market to push up after a long downtrend. So this is an early inclination, which if I was to simply just trust the MACD here, and that's another indicator that I'm using. These are just extra confirmations. This strategy alone can be used without any other indicators as far as like a stochastic or a MACD. So I got my parabolic dot confirming that the market is wanting to go up. Since we're in binary options and you want to get the best entries, you definitely want to backtest this theory and see how accurate it is on the particular pair that you're looking at least within maybe the last, you scroll back here and kind of just see when the trend switches, how accurate the parabolic dots are, and then how long that trend will switch. So since we're getting in for 2 minutes, I'm going to go ahead and enter a call position. The moment I see this candle kind of pull back to my 8 moving average, and I'm just going to zoom in so you can get a really clear picture. Um, you can always get better entries on an area chart. If you have access to another computer or another screen, you can pull up another pocket option broker and just look at the candle chart and actually enter on the area chart. But for this particular demonstration, I'm just going to simply show using the candle chart so you can actually see and monitor it with the indicators on. So if that pulls back a little bit more, I'm going to enter in for a 2-minute call. Okay, so we're into that trade and we're immediately in the money. We have about 50 seconds left here. And what I did here on this particular entry, I kind of got in the middle of a candle in hopes that this next candle here will push up higher than this previous candle. I mean, technically, this candle did close above my 8 moving average. It's a very close call, but it did close above. So we're just going to sit here and wait and see if we can end up in the money within the next minute and 20 seconds. What we clearly see here is that this next candle is wanting to retest this 8 moving average. And again, like I told you, it kind of acts like a support and a resistance. If the candles are above it, it acts as a form of support. And when the candles are above it and they're pushing up, it acts as a as a resistance. So it looks like we're going to be out the money on this particular one. During my demonstration and me talking, I could have potentially got in on this candle or this candle here and rode it up, but it doesn't look like it wants to push back up. So that will be a lesson on that one. I'm actually going to switch over to a different pair. And anytime I take a lesson on a particular trade, instead of chasing that particular pair, I just keep flipping through until I find a cleaner setup. I kind of like that that one didn't go in the desired direction because it kind of lets you know that realistically you will lose a couple positions, especially if you don't have your timing right or you don't wait patiently for the candles to close above and change the trend direction. If the trend is already going in a certain direction and you get in on them trades after seeing consistently that the market is staying above the 8 moving average, and every time it comes and touches it, if you see in this particular example here, it touches the 8 moving average and then it shoots up. In these particular situations, you're already in an uptrend and you're going for a call. So you really don't need as much confirmation as I needed on that previous pair because I was waiting for a call to I'm sorry, for a sell trend to switch over to a buy trend. So this one doesn't look too clean. It's a lot of small candles, so I'm going to avoid entering in on the trade. And like I said, you just have, I would say, a good 4 to 5 different pairs up here based off of percentage payout. And you don't need the currency strength meter or any other analysis, especially in OTC, which is over the counter. This is just simply available on the weekends when the market is not open. You can just get in and make money off of the strategy because most of the time you'll see that the candles are always below the moving average, the 8 moving average. You see the sell candles. And when price is above the 8 moving average, you see buy candles. And when the candles are above the 8 and the 21, you see it's a strong buy. So you can backtest this theory and just kind of keep flipping through until you see something good. Now I like to look at support and resistance when I see something like, okay, if I'm interested in this sell, but I see that it's dropped a significant amount, I also want to look at the next level of support because even though I'm using indicators and moving averages, I want to know what's the lowest in this particular example that this could potentially drop. Because I see my support level is here, just for the sake of time and demonstration, I'm just going to enter a 2-minute sell right there in the middle of that candle. My parabolic dot is already showed up here, indicating that the market should drop. To get the best results with any particular strategy, it's always a lot safer to play anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes. But for the sake of the demonstration, I just kind of want to show you guys um, what could potentially happen if you just simply use the moving averages and the parabolic dots. Now, one thing about this trade that makes me not as sure as I originally was is that I do show on the MACD that the sell strength is weakening and it looks like it could potentially be pushing up into a buy. If we get a strong push here down on this candle here, or a couple candles continue to close below our entry, as you can see here, we are in the money. So it is possible that price could drop down to this most recent support level that I have marked up here, and potentially bounce off and then continue up into a buy or a call. Um, so it looks like we're looking good here. We got 40 seconds left. We're just going to wait here and see if we can clear this particular trade just for the demonstration. You see the countdown here again. This is a 1-minute candle. We have approximately 30 seconds left on this candle and about 10 seconds left in the trade. So it's looking pretty good here. This is a flat top sell candle. So we should clear this trade here in the next second. Okay, and as you can see, congratulations, you earned 960. We can go into the close trades here and see that we were in the money on that particular trade. If you're going to use this strategy, based off of my experience, and especially here within the last 5 trades, 4 in which I took before I started this video, I had 3 in the money and 1 out the money, and that was actually on Euro JBP. I'm sorry, Euro GBP. Can't talk today. And the one that I lost here was CHFJPY. So I'm saying that to say this: if you're going to use an OTC strategy, it's better to use commodities, in my opinion, and trade something like gold that's super volatile. But what you need to understand about a volatile pair with this particular strategy is that when the market is going a certain direction, it tends to push that direction very rapidly. So you can honestly catch this sell anywhere from here to about here, and it creates either a larger opportunity or potentially 1 or 2 opportunities. I would not get too aggressive or too greedy in between these areas. But as you can see, when we did get a call, it was a pretty strong call, kind of consolidated around this area. You could have cleared here maybe if I zoom in. But then you really want to get these really, really tight switchovers because now what you have in this particular sell, if I would have caught it here, we had we saw a doji candle, a flat top sell candle open up. I'm sorry, close, and then the candles continue below the 8 moving average, and then at this point here, we see that the candles was below the 21 moving average. So we got both things working in our favor. We look down at the stochastic and the MACD. We have them crossing here. If you can see my cursor here moving. So if we were to look for any extra confirmations, and then if you wanted to just have, let me see, we got 2 moving averages, the parabolic dot. So we have about 1, 2, 3. We have 5 indicators working for us right now. So if we wait on the parabolic dot and the crossover on the MACD and the stochastic, the beginning of the momentum starting for the sale, we're guaranteed to be in the money in this particular situation. And when you backtest this theory, it tends to work a lot. I'm going to use this, for example, on the uptrend. When it switched over into a call, if you can see here, we started the call. We got the parabolic dots. We got the MACD crossing. We have the momentum heading in the upward direction, as well as the stochastic crossing here. So when you use these, when you have all five confirmations, I would definitely take the trade. I wouldn't hesitate. And like I said, you don't need to clear a lot of trades to be in profit. If you take these very, very profitable and very, very high probability opportunities, you do stand a good chance of being in the money more times than none and avoiding these consolidating kind of mushy areas where you can't really determine what's about to happen. Wait and get the confirmations. Let the candles close, especially if you're looking at a 1 minute chart. It's not that hard to just wait the 1 minute, let the candles close in the direction that you desire. Wait for your parabolic dots. You see your crossover. You see your crossover here. Boom, go in for the sale. 2 to 5 minutes in the money. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions or if you need any other details of other strategies that I may use to trade binary options, please contact me, and all of my contact information will be listed in the description. Thank you.